welcome back to the Gallivanthropologists.
Yeah, today I'm really excited. We get to try a really awesome traditional meal. I mean, like, this is why I decided to study culinary anthropology in the first place.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to our camp, and hope you will have a nice stay and a nice night with the full moon. No chance to see more stars. Our chef, Mr. Salah, who cooked the meal here and on the buffet there. And the deal with him, if you like the food, we say thank you. Otherwise, we bury him in the oil. The meal is a Bedouin specialty called Zarb, Z-A-R-B.
And last week we showed you our great time we had in Wadi Rum, staying at Wadi Rum Quiet Village, which is one of the many Bedouin villages here. It is a great place to set out on Jeep tours. You can go on camel tours to the sunset, which was really nice. And every night when you get back, they have live music and nice camaraderie and the piece de resistance. We had a really good meal both times we were there, and it was prepared traditionally.
So in the hole, we put the charcoal, the wood, we burned it till no flames. Then we put the basket of the food, chicken and vegetables, and sealed it. To steam it, average 3 hours time.
The Zarb oven here is really awesome. It's a Bedouin tradition that dates back thousands of years, and the Bedouins were nomadic people, so they couldn't just cook and make a meal for the midday, make a meal at night, make a meal in the morning, because it would take too long and they'd need all of this equipment that they'd have to bring with them on their camels or on their donkeys. This was much easier. You could just dig a pit, and then you'd put some sort of metal or something else around it that would conduct the heat, and you would put wood. Maybe you would use dung traditionally. Now they use wood, thank goodness, because then their food would taste like dung, and it doesn't sound very appetizing to me. But you use the wood and you cook it down to coals, and then they would have a rack system, as you guys saw, and you'd put the meat and the vegetables, and then you put it in there. You'd cover it all up like it was, and then you'd put sand all around it, and that would just make it steam everything together, almost like a makeshift convention oven. It's really amazing. There's usually, it would be, like you said, a minimum of 3 hours. Sometimes it'd be upwards of 7 hours, and it was really efficient, and it did not require a lot of stuff that you'd have to bring with you on the camel, which was very important for the Bedouin culture. Everything is like buffet, so you stand in line and then you can get the chicken and the veggies that were cooked on the Zarb.
Looks delicious.
But they also had all the traditional salads and dips and bread and all that awesome stuff. And if you guys want to learn more about the traditional Jordanian food, you're going to want to check out next week's video where we go through all of the Jordanian meals that we had.
And I swear I can still taste some of those foods that we ate, and we've tried to recreate some of them at home. I can tell you it's hard, so my hat's off to the chef. The chef there would work almost all day to make sure that you had breakfast, which was included, and then that he was ready for this Zarb every night, where he'd have a group of mostly new people each time, because people only seem to stay there for one night. I think that's a mistake, but the food was delicious, and we had a wonderful time.
Yeah, it was awesome. I wish that we had talked a little bit more about the food itself. You know, traditionally we'll go through every part of the meal, but largely because it's really late and because there's a lot of people in this little tent, we didn't want to speak too loudly, and so we didn't do as much as we should have. But that's just another thing to do next time we come. This looks absolutely delicious. We are in Wadi Rum Quiet Village campsite, and they made a beautiful dinner for us. Obviously, we have the traditional bread with all the salads and the potatoes, and there's some eggplants, yummy curry-looking stuff, and then the best part of this is that there's some really awesome chicken here that was made on a Zarb, which is a traditional Bedouin oven. And it was absolutely incredible to watch, and it looks even more incredible.
And we hope that wet your whistle for next week.
Yeah, next week we are going to be going over all of the food that we had in Jordan. So all the places that we showed videos of, most of those places we actually had a meal, and man, you guys are not gonna wanna miss that.
So we invite you to go back and review all the old ones and see all the great things that you can see. And while you're going along in Jordan, don't forget that this is a really awesome food culture, and find yourself enjoying that aspect as much as anything else. And as always, find yourself on a journey.